Okay, so for number one, what is Chris's current level of functioning, his strengths and his weaknesses? Um, I would say when it comes to Chris's level of functioning, he seems to be strong in his academics. It was stated that he usually scores above average in his assignments, but where his weaknesses lie is that he is weak socially and he disrupts the class. He walks around and he stares out the window and not paying attention, and he seems to find other distractions as in playing with the fish. He has a short attention span, which leads him to sing, hum, and mess around with the other students during learning time. Number two, how can Miss Hanson help Chris to develop control over his behavior? I said I would say Miss Hanson needs to work on a social constructivism with Chris. It was stated that he is a smart kid, which is why he skipped a grade, but I don't. But I think he is lacking in the social part of school. In chapter 10, they talked about how social constructivism. I feel like I'm saying that wrong, but um, it's all about interaction with others, working with others, and skills that can help with social skills. So I think this is how Miss Hanson can help Chris develop control over his behavior. Social constructivism. So yeah. Number three, how can the curriculum be altered to provide opportunities for Chris to learn more effectively? I said that a way that the curriculum could be altered for Chris is having more collaboration within the classroom. It seems that he does not get along well with the students. I remember it talked about how they at one point have gotten so tired of him to now they've resulted into bullying him, you know, verbally and physically. So yeah. Um, I think that by doing more group work with the students, he can learn social skills. I think it's important to remember he is one of the youngest in his house with older siblings who are practically adults. So I think maybe that had a hand in him not knowing. So I don't want to say not knowing social cues, but not being socially aware of his surroundings. I'll put it like that. Because like most people say, certain things always start at home, and I think his social skills started at home, which is why they're so weak. Because I remember they also stated that his parents were also not around much too, which is why his older sister practically raised him. Um, so yeah, like I said, chapter 10 talks about how collaboration and cooperation helps kids learn how to work and relate with others. So yeah, so I think the curriculum could be altered for more collaboration and more like group work and stuff. Number four, how can Chris learn from cooperative learning experiences? I think that Chris can learn how to work with others using cooperative learning. According to chapter 10, cooperative work is all about tasks and everyone doing their jobs to then come together at the end and get the job done. In cooperative learning, you can learn social and communication skills, which is where, again, like I said before, I think that's where Chris is lacking. So I think by doing that, that could help him out and in the classroom. So yeah, my general impression for the student would be that he is strong in the cognitive sense, as in academics, but in his social skills, I think that's where he is weak. And it was stated that he isn't engaged in the learning and has a hard time paying attention to the lesson and seems to zone off a lot too as well. The teacher's general impression, they didn't really talk too much about the teacher. I think it's obvious that she's not prepared for dealing with Chris in his situation, but overall, they didn't really talk about much. Overall, the reading didn't talk much about the teacher or the classroom environment. So, but yeah.